Super big lore and news just dropped from the video game leaker community. News that is bringing people to their knees in sadness and despair. A prominent leaker from this community by the name of Midori, who's been known as a young, hot Japanese woman that everyone simps for, the most ultimate gamer girl, if you will, leaking information on Atlas and Sega games. Recently had some very interesting information exposed about their true identity, that they're not actually the young, hot Japanese gamer girl that everyone thought they were at first. And if you have no idea who Midori is or any of these characters involved, this story is still interesting regardless, but you may happen to recognize them from this tweet that went super viral last year, where this account with Midori as the username in Japanese tweets out, "Finally, I created a Discord account. Thank you for friend requests, but I have a boyfriend, so I don't want to date right now. You can date in Persona games, so you can do that instead. I hope you find cool girlfriends soon." And everyone read this thinking it was awesome that the Japanese woman BTFO'd everybody. But it turns out it wasn't really a Japanese woman at all. This story gets crazy. We've got Pastebins, we've got Wayback machines, we have grooming allegations, all sorts of crazy lore and details in this story. So buckle in. You guys are going to want to pay attention. Keep your eyes on the screen. We're going for a wild ride here in this story. This story starts with this Tails Guy 92 person tweets out, "Someone posted for a brief moment this document on Midori, and it was swiftly sniped by mods on Reddit. Normally I'd ignore it, but I read it and there's definitive proof of some stuff. Read it." And so I opened this Pastebin at first and I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is so long and ridiculous. Like, what? And they read a bunch of specifics about all the complex lore in the gaming leak community. And I won't get into all the details, but this Pastebin that was quickly deleted alleges that Midori is Mystic Distance without a doubt, who was some other leaker that was prominent in this community many time ago. And that leaker was just some white dude living in the States, not this young, hot, awesome Japanese girl that Midori claims to be. We didn't think we could find definitive proof of Midori being Mystic until someone who has enough hate for him that they'd inspire Kendrick to drop another diss track went on the Wayback Machine. The link keeps dying for me for some odd reason, but if you Wayback Machine this link directly leading to a web archive for February 2023, you'll notice the comments on the original Midori translation have his name tied to them. But if you Wayback Machine it a month later, it has the name Midori. They rebranded their Persona Central account. And what they're showing that there's basically on this link, this Japanese name here, which roughly translates to the witnesses of a beautiful spectacle, which I also believe kind of roughly translates to Mystic Distance. I might be wrong about that, but the point being is that the community was able to tie it back to Mystic Distance himself. And it uses the same PFP and account as what is now Midori, which is this meme that we just looked at earlier. And so haters basically scoured through just months and months of every single time this account ever showed up on anything, I guess. And they were able to find that the name was actually changed to Midori. Now, I believe that's what the interpretation is. I could be wrong. That's what I got out of reading this Pastebin and reading this Tails Guy 92's post. And I may have those exact details iffy, but it doesn't really matter because regardless, Midori ended up just confirming this information himself. He put out a thread on the Midori account, the one that's been used to tweet as a Japanese girl for the last year, and says, "The rumors about my identity that have started to spread and will continue to spread recently are correct information. It is only ironic that I am corroborating information that will almost assuredly end the long journey that has been had with this account. I will not deny the rumored information that the account has been known to many as Midori," and then his Twitter @ "is indeed Mystic Distance. I think many have been aware of this for a long time now, but if they were, they chose to say nothing. I appreciate that." And then he goes on to deny some of the other claims in the document, like regarding his leaks and the way that he got them and if they're accurate or if he's a shit leaker. I don't know, that's all like gaming leaker drama that I have no idea how any of it works or the lore behind it. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But he continues about the Midori persona saying, "As it may not be a real person, it is what I believe to be an accurate representation of a real person, albeit in a particularly strange way that I wish I did not use. But it was never used to manipulate anyone or to appear more credible. And this persona was never used to catfish anyone or garner more followers. In all honesty, I decided on this persona at random. There was never any intention behind it. And as I've stated previously, no monetary gain has ever been made from this account." But regardless, everyone just instantly started clowning on this guy. Even people who have nothing to do with the gaming leak community, like myself included. I'm just a normie. I'm not connected to this shit at all. I don't really play Atlas games or Sega games. This Captain Con YT guy posted this tweet, where Midori tweeted out last year, "I am girl, but replies are funny to me." And someone replied, So for my calculations, you're in your late 20s or early 30s. You tweeted that you played Persona 3 Portable when you were in high school. Persona 3 Portable came out in 2009. That means 14 years ago. You was a high schooler, so you must be 15 to 18. I think 14 plus 18 equals 32. So, can I get your number? So just totally simping and bending their knee for a secret white man pretending to be a woman. And they continued saying, Midori, I am one of your old fan. I love you so much. I read your every tweet. I print your viral ones. Some of them are on the walls in my room. I was in depression when you left me. The day you returned is the happiest day of my life. Thank you for brightening my life. Can you imagine reading this tweet after the news broke out? Can you imagine looking back at this and just being like, fuck my ass. My life is over. I am useless now. Fuck this shit. Like, bro. Captain Khan also posts this allegedly deleted tweet by Midori where they say, this account was also used by a group. I was not the main user of this account and had not been using the account in a very long time since the time the document in the callout post was made, but the template for this account was indeed created by me, which is interesting. I'm not sure why Mystic Distance would delete this. If it's true, it's probably important information to help clear your name, I guess, but he backtracked off of it, so that's strange. But instantly, as soon as this came out, now we get into the grooming allegations, which are just some of the stupidest ones I've ever seen in my entire life. This person, Zach Zix, replied to Midori saying, oh, so you're telling me my ex-boyfriend was fucking Midori this whole time? This got 1 million views, 17,000 likes. What could this possibly be? Well, they continue saying, y'all, it was a quick relationship. I was his mental therapist for a month straight, and he ended up catching feelings for me. Remember, kids, never give too much if you don't receive shit in return. I have absolutely no proof of any of that, so if y'all don't want to believe me, I don't care. 1. Both me and him were on old Discord accounts that are long gone. 2. I owe that man nothing anymore because he caused me pain and made me feel like shit during COVID. 3. The shit is years old too. And then finally we have a now deleted tweet, which luckily I screenshotted before they deleted it, where they say, yes, I was 17. Yes, I was groomed and possibly human experimented on now that I'm looking back at it. All this is based off of memories, so no real evidence because it was years ago and I was young and naive, but there's already proof, poster of him grooming kids everywhere now. So you might be thinking, holy shit, there's proof of him grooming kids everywhere? What the fuck? Let me see this proof. Like, holy shit. And the proof is where Zach continues to tweet out, one last thing I'll ever post about this. Mystic Distance was not only an abuser, but also a PDF file, and it seems like one of his victims came to me. If anyone hasn't done the math correctly, I was 17 when Mystic decided to use me as his personal therapist. Okay. And then they post these DMs where it starts where someone DM'd Zach saying, were you underage when Mystic did all that? I was 16. He was creepy as shit with me. Zach says, yes, I was 17. The anonymous account says, and when I told him to back up because I'm 16 and not interested, that's when he started throwing himself a pity party. Bro, Mystic is a degenerate pedophile who tried grooming me. Wow, so we're just saying anything now, posting whatever the fuck we want on the internet and on Twitter, accusing people of being pedophiles just with a DM from someone saying that they're a pedophile. That's incredible. I can't believe the level of integral and awesome research that we've reached. This Zach guy continues tweeting, Mystic was an abuser. The guy genuinely was baiting everyone into siding with him because he kept his good guy image whenever he'd get into arguments. And I fell for it. He tweets suicidal stuff every day just to make people care about him and whatever the fuck. This guy also used me as a personal therapist and a wingman to help him with his online drama and be there for him. Only for him to fucking ghost me and end up ignoring me and disappearing into the unknown. I put so much effort into trying to make him happy. I even remember not joining my old friend group's PlayStation parties for weeks just because he'd always borrow me at night and just rant and I'd be tired. Y'all remember Fam's side drama, Persona Central drama, and the many other dramas that were accused around him and somehow always ended up being him being the victorious? Because he used people for his own good. So this Zach guy obviously sounds butthurt that he used to interact in some way with this Mystic person. And Mystic, I guess, played them and then ghosted them. I don't know why I give a single fuck about this. But somehow that makes him a pedophile because the person that he was ranting to about his life was 17. He even says in the tweet itself that he acted as a wingman for Mystic. So were they dating? Were they friends? This obviously makes no sense at all to me. I can't take this as serious because it means nothing to me when you provide no proof or anything. Literally, at worst, this is just something you give a side eye to, but unless this dude was flirting with this person or saying sexual comments to them or acting as if they wanted to fuck, like, do I give a single shit that this person vented to a 17-year-old once a year ago for like a month? And how dare they ghost the 17-year-old afterwards and ignore them after they vented to them? I put so much effort into making him happy. I ghosted my old friend group's PlayStation parties. Like, what? Are you sure you haven't grown past the age of 17? Because why do you still care about this? Why am I supposed to care about this? I know it sounds like I'm guarding hard as fuck for Mystic. I don't know this guy, but I'm reading this shit and this guy is just randomly accusing Mystic of being like a groomer with no proof at all. And it obviously has the most butthurt energy of all time that I've ever seen. So I don't know why the fuck I'd buy anything this guy says, but yeah, this is now the grooming allegations, which somehow are getting traction on Twitter. I don't know how, but it's just absolutely ridiculous. If some more proof comes out or something to show that this guy was flirting or touching little teenagers, I would then buy it. But as of right now, this means literally nothing to me. If anything, it's just something to laugh at. And this Sonic Saber guy posted Midori's response to it, titling it, Midori addressing the abusive relationships and pedo allegations. And Mystic/Midori says, I don't think it will even help. People have made up their minds. Perhaps suggesting this person suggested they make a response to it. And they continue, I could say, I don't know who this is and I don't speak to people sexually. What would that even do? I don't have screenshots disproving that because I don't even have any aspects of my life from then. The allegations of me being manipulative and doing things that were wrong are true, absolutely. Being a pedo, definitely not. I won't correct people who feel that my past was harmful, that my past relationships were not healthy to either party. This is true, and people should have the right to express their feelings, but this allegation is false. Yeah, pretty much saying exactly what I just said. It's also just true, like what you can say, like, I didn't do this, but anyone with any sliver of common sense can look at this stupid, brain-dead Twitter accusation where this person says I was groomed and provides literally nothing at all. And at that point, it's almost just worth ignoring it entirely because it's like, what the fuck are you even going to say to that? Because yeah, anyone who looks at this would just dismiss it instantly unless there was literally any bit of proof or like a single DM, a single message to show anything that they're alleging. But just simply the idea of he was mean to me when I was 17, like, okay, well, get over it. How long ago was this? 4 years and you're still mad that someone was mean to you on the internet? I do not care. But that's really just the state of how Twitter operates nowadays. Any kind of allegation that comes out, someone can just say something and provide basically zero proof at all, and everyone just eats it up instantly. I remember that happened with the Quite situation. That Orion person came out with a whole bunch of bullshit against Quite, basically saying shit with literally no proof at all, just making up insane accusations about how Quite was some abuser, and the entirety of Twitter instantly ate it up and bought it. And this always happens, and now it's happening to some random dude who just leaks shit from Sega and Atlas. It could really happen to anyone. It could happen to you. It could happen to me. At any time, some random person can come out and just say that you're a pedophile and then your life is over because all of Twitter will instantly believe it. Even if that person doesn't provide a shred of proof or even anything to show that they interacted with you in any way, shape, or form. And so I was actually sent the only known alleged DM that Mystic apparently sent to a 16-year-old, which I don't even think is this exact person. I think it's someone else alleging this. It's also completely unconfirmed, so take it with a huge grain of salt. But this DM shows Mystic sending to the alleged 16-year-old a quick question. Kind of heavy to ask a 16-year-old, to be honest. Does my life really matter? I struggle a lot with the idea that I should live. Which obviously, if this is true, yes, objectively cringe. Don't fucking talk like this to people who are underage. They don't deserve to hear this bullshit cancer. But again, this doesn't make him a pedophile or a groomer, unless somehow he then ties this into saying that the only way to fix his life is to send titties. Which if he did, then obviously there's nothing to do but condemn that. That's fucking insane. But I'm just sitting here now speculating about what could possibly have happened because these people provide no evidence or proof for anything at all. But for right now, I just want to give one more little thought here because realistically, like I said, I'm not connected to this shit at all, like the Sega and Atlas shit. But a lot of people in this community are giving the take that they don't really give a fuck that Midori hid their identity. And honestly, it's a fair take to give because if you're doing something that Midori is doing, which is just leaking shit from game companies, I'm not surprised that you would want to hide your identity. That actually makes total and complete sense to me. And if their leaks are accurate and they're good and they're pulling off stuff and providing for the community stuff that they want, does it really matter if they're cosplaying as someone else? I don't really think it matters that much. As funny as it is and as funny as it is to clown on it, I don't really see it as being something that I am genuinely shocked by or think that this guy is somehow morally condemnable for lying about his identity when he is a video game leaker posting insider information from companies. No shit, he's going to hide his identity. So morally speaking, I don't think I'm bothered by this at all. Maybe there's some other aspect of this that I'm missing as someone who's not in this community and myself, and maybe I'm missing something, let me know. But for me personally, I just view this and I'm like, I don't really care. If anything, I probably would do, if I was in his shoes, I probably would do the same thing. I would act as if I was someone else. why wouldn't I? Maybe there's some reason I'm missing and you guys can correct me, but I don't see why I wouldn't if I was in his position. There's even like a whole bunch of more lore around this Tails 92 guy, I think, where they allege that this person like worked together with some other guy named Zippo, who's some other prominent leaker, I guess, in this community. And now people are accusing Zippo of like grooming a minor because the person that Zippo was interacting with to get information on Midori was underage. And they apparently just pressured them really hard. I don't even know. There's so much weird lore and context to all this shit. If you guys really like this video and it does well and you guys want me to deep dive more into it, I'll post a follow-up with every single little weird detail on this lore because it definitely looks interesting, but it's going to be like a full day of just dissecting everything and laying out a timeline of how these people operate. And I just kind of wanted to post a video showing the funny shit. But if you guys want me to do that, let me know in the comments. And if I get enough replies, I will deep dive into this. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about this. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.